Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening Path. I'm so glad you're here today. In this video, we're diving into a fascinating topic, the 8 key body symptoms that confirm you're experiencing your final phase of spiritual awakening. Have you ever wondered why your body starts acting so strangely after stepping onto this path? Some people say, I hear my own voice and it doesn't feel like me anymore. Others share, I wake up in the middle of the night, my heart racing, and it feels like this strange energy is flowing through me. These signs often show up in ways we don't expect, sometimes subtle, sometimes intense. If you've noticed shifts in your energy, emotions, or physical body, this video will help you understand what's really happening, not just in your body, but in your soul as well. So if you've experienced any of this, stay tuned until the end. I'll reveal 8 surprising but incredibly important signs, all of which show that your body isn't broken, it's evolving. I want you to try and recall a recent moment. Maybe when you put on a shirt you've worn many times before, and suddenly it felt uncomfortable. The seams rub against your skin, that tiny tag at the collar suddenly becomes irritating. Have you ever experienced that? Many people think, maybe I'm just getting older, my skin is more sensitive, or something's wrong with my health. But from the perspective of someone who has guided countless spiritual awakening journeys, I want you to understand that sometimes this isn't a medical issue at all. It's your body speaking its own language. When you awaken, your skin, the largest organ of your body, begins to function like a highly sophisticated antenna. It's not just sensing touch anymore. It's attuned to vibrations, to the truths around you. I've had students tell me that even a gentle breeze can make them shiver, as if their body is hearing frequencies they never noticed before. I want you to imagine this. You walk into a crowded room. Before, you simply saw and heard, but now your skin, it's almost reading the atmosphere, picking up tension or calmness, even before your mind has a chance to process it. From a scientific perspective, we know the sympathetic nervous system and the receptors in our skin can react extremely quickly to the environment. But when paired with spiritual awakening, this sensitivity is amplified. Your body is like it's been upgraded to alert you what spaces feel safe, what relationships are healthy, what you need to release. Instead of seeing this sensitivity as a burden, I encourage you to see it as a gift. It's like a new radar system, helping you live more authentically, closer to your true self. So next time a familiar shirt suddenly feels uncomfortable, or a space feels heavy for no clear reason, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? You are not weak. On the contrary, this is a sign that you are growing, stepping deeper into your spiritual awakening journey. Have you noticed that lately your sleep just isn't the same as it used to be? You go to bed on time, even get a full 7-8 hours, but still wake up feeling exhausted. Or maybe you often find yourself waking up at the same hour in the middle of the night, maybe 2 or 3 a.m., and then you lie there restless asking yourself, am I having insomnia? Is something wrong with my body? I want you to know something. Often, this isn't a sign of illness. It's your body creating a kind of energy reset. While your mind rests, your soul, the deepest, most pure part of you, is getting to work. It's as if it's updating the software, upgrading new layers of energy for you. I once spoke with a woman in her 60s. She told me that for months, every night at 3 a.m. she would wake up fully alert, with no idea why. At first she worried, thinking it was a sleep disorder. But as she learned to listen, she realized this was a sacred hour, a moment of stillness that allowed her consciousness to connect more deeply with herself. And strangely, instead of resisting it, she began using those moments to meditate, pray, or write down what weighed on her heart. The result, she felt more peaceful than ever before. From a scientific perspective, we know the human body runs on a circadian rhythm. But during spiritual awakening, this rhythm isn't just influenced by light or hormones. It's being guided by the subtle currents of energy flowing through you. Disrupted sleep is the body's way of reorganizing your energy system, much like a computer restarting to install a new version. So if you're experiencing this, don't blame yourself or panic. See it as an invitation to listen to your body, to understand that even in sleep, your soul is at work, preparing a new version of you that's lighter, clearer, and freer. Ask yourself, if I wake up in the middle of the night, Maybe the universe is asking me to pause, to be still, to connect, and to remember that I am more than just this body. Have you ever experienced moments when your heart races, like there's a heavy pressure pressing down on your chest? Maybe you've worried, even thought that something might be wrong with your heart. From my experience, though, this is actually a sign that your heart is expanding. When you enter a deep phase of spiritual awakening, your heart isn't just holding the love you already know, it's learning to receive new love while simultaneously letting go of old hurts. I want you to imagine this. Each heartbeat is like creating more space within you. The emotional burdens, the past pain, the old expectations, they're being pushed out by your heart to make room for fresh energy, for a deeper connection with yourself and with others. One of my students, a woman in her 50s, shared that whenever she felt this pressure, she would take a deep breath, place her hand over her chest, and say to herself, "I am ready to release the old and welcome love fully." After a few weeks, she noticed that the heaviness no longer felt scary. Instead, it became a sign of expansion and inner freedom. So if you're experiencing strong pressure in your chest, don't panic. Acknowledge it, breathe, and feel that your heart is healing itself, opening to love more fully, and preparing a more complete version of you. Have you ever noticed this feeling? Some days you eat very little but feel full almost immediately, as if your stomach doesn't want to take in any more. Yet on other days you feel unusually hungry, even right after a meal. Many people might feel confused or worry about their health. But from a spiritual perspective, this isn't just about your stomach. It's a sign that your solar plexus, the energy center in your abdomen, is recalibrating. Imagine this. Over the years, we carry unprocessed emotions in our belly: anger, anxiety, regrets. All of that energy acts like heavy stones sitting in our stomach. As you step into your awakening journey, your body starts to clear them out, and the stomach, your center of transformation, reacts first. I remember a man in his 50s who shared that for months his eating habits became unusual. Some days he barely ate and felt completely satisfied. Other days he experienced strong hunger, but instead of resisting, he learned to listen. He realized that each time his stomach refused more food, it was his soul undergoing a process of releasing the old. So if you notice your digestion behaving unpredictably, don't immediately think your body is betraying you. See it as a companion helping you release invisible burdens from the past. Every unusual hunger, every unexpected fullness is a message. I am being reborn. I am learning to digest life more gently. Have you ever had that moment where you hear your own voice and it sounds like it's coming from a stranger? You're having a normal conversation, and then there's this pause, this strange disconnect, and you think, wait, is this really me speaking? It can feel confusing, even a little unsettling, but I want you to know, this isn't a malfunction. It's a profound signal that you're moving through a deep, fundamental shift. You see, your old voice isn't just sound. It carries layers of your old self, your limiting beliefs, the roles you used to play to be accepted, the masks you wore. Every word you spoke held the energy of the old you, the person who learned to please, to defend, to operate within boundaries. And as you awaken, that voice begins to feel foreign. It no longer fits. Sometimes you may find it hard to speak. Your throat feels tight, as if your body refuses to say what no longer aligns with the truth within. I remember working with a man in his 50s. He shared that recently, while talking with friends, he'd sometimes stop mid-sentence because his voice felt not like his own. At first he worried, but as we explored it together, he realized that his soul was gently refusing the old patterns, the small talk, the empty phrases. Instead, he started speaking more slowly, with fewer words, yet with far more depth and authenticity. Here's what I want you to understand. Feeling disconnected from your old voice doesn't mean you're losing yourself. It's giving you a chance to express yourself in a new way, a voice no longer bound by fear, but coming from the truest place in your heart. And over time, you'll notice, this new voice doesn't need to be loud, it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be real. And when you speak from that truth, the people who need to hear you will naturally listen. Have you ever felt that strange disconnect with your own voice? If so, try placing your hand on your throat, take a slow breath, and whisper to yourself, "This is my voice being reborn. This is the sound of truth." Have you ever been sitting quietly, doing nothing in particular, and suddenly felt an invisible band tightening around your head? Or maybe a wave of heat, a subtle tingling, as if something is stirring right at the crown of your skull? Many people immediately think stress or high blood pressure. But if your doctor finds nothing unusual, consider this a gentle whisper from your spiritual self. The crown of your head, what many traditions call the crown chakra, is the gateway to higher intuition. And when that gateway begins to open, your body may feel different. I remember speaking with a 65-year-old woman who shared that some nights the pressure on her head would wake her up. But instead of panicking, she would sit up, take slow, deep breaths, and in that moment, her mind felt unusually clear. Daily worries melted away, and a deep, quiet peace emerged. You see, these sensations aren't disturbances. It's like upgrading an old antenna to receive a new signal. At first, there's some static, a bit of tension, but soon you notice the signal becoming clearer, purer. So if you've ever felt heat, tingling, or pressure at the top of your head, consider it a sign. Your old mindset is being released, and a new intuitive clarity is being installed. And I want you to ask yourself, if there really is an invisible door opening at the top of my head, leading to a source of wisdom and light, am I ready to step through it? Don't rush to dismiss these sensations. Instead, let them remind you that you are being upgraded, not just in mind, but in spirit. Have you noticed that things that used to feel completely normal, like your phone screen, the blue light from your computer, or even just sitting near Wi-Fi, suddenly start making you uncomfortable? Maybe headaches, dizziness, or a vague sense of fatigue creep in. Many people think, maybe I'm getting weaker. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Your body isn't weakening, it's becoming more refined. It's like a radio being retuned to receive a cleaner signal, and suddenly it can't tolerate the electronic noise of the modern environment anymore. I remember speaking with a man around 70 years old. He'd been an engineer his whole life, surrounded by machines, screens, and gadgets. But in recent years, he couldn't handle the glow of screens in the evening, so he started changing his habits, turning off the TV earlier, spending more time in the garden, walking under the night sky. And strangely, he felt a clarity in his soul like never before. You see, this isn't a limitation. It's an invitation, a call to return to nature, to silence, to the primal rhythms your soul has always longed for. So if blue light or electronic signals bother you, consider it a message. Your body is saying, it's time for fresh air. It's time for sunlight, for the wind, for the scent of the earth. I want you to imagine this. When was the last time you sat beneath a tree, turned off your phone, and simply listened to the birds sing? Maybe that's the very medicine your soul has been waiting for. Have you ever been sitting quietly, nothing unusual happening, and suddenly felt tears welling up? A nameless, reasonless sadness, as if your heart just lost something you can't quite name. I want you to know, this doesn't mean you're falling apart or that something is wrong with you. In fact, it's the soul's way of grieving. When a part of your old self, old beliefs, limiting patterns, protective shells, has completed its purpose and begins to let go, your body and mind need space to mourn, to release. I once worked with a woman in her 60s. She told me that sometimes the sadness would hit like a sudden wave, without any connection to a current story or event. At first, she felt afraid. But then she realized it wasn't sadness about the present. It was the echo of past fragments, pieces of herself being freed. And after each wave, she felt lighter, as if a cleansing had taken place. You see, this sadness isn't a sign of weakness. It's like the first rain of the season, cold and startling at first, but afterwards the air feels clearer, fresher. Every tear that falls washes away an old layer, making room for renewal. So if you notice these waves of inexplicable sadness, don't rush to push them away. Let them flow through you as part of your journey, because behind that sadness, there's always new light waiting. If you've been experiencing strange sensations, sensitive skin, disrupted sleep, pressure in your chest, or sudden waves of sadness, remember this. These are not signs of illness. All of these symptoms are your body catching up with the deep awakening of your soul. It's helping you release your old self, let go of limiting beliefs, and gradually step into your true self. You are not broken, you are evolving. And your body, with all its sensations, vibrations, and signals, always speaks the truth before the mind does. So don't suppress it. Don't be afraid. Listen, take a deep breath, and walk alongside your body on this awakening journey. It's your most loyal companion on the path back to yourself. Remember, every vibration, every feeling is a gentle reminder that you are fully alive in your soul. The key is not to rush into labeling these changes as illness, unless medical attention is truly needed. Always remember, your body isn't broken, it's evolving. If you found this helpful, hit like to honor that you are listening to your body. Subscribe to continue exploring the deep signs of spiritual awakening, and share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to know which of the 8 changes you've noticed today. Smile at every sensation, every breath, and remember, you are never alone. You are evolving, one moment at a time.